This episode of On Photography. In this episode, we're going to discuss and unbox the Yi M1. So I believe this is manufactured by Xiaomi, the manufacturer of a lot of more economy class action cameras. And this is their first foray into sort of the higher end 4/3 camera line, semi point and shoot stuff. So anyways, been a lot of reviews out on the internet about this guy. So I'm going to do more of a little bit of discussion as I unbox it. Why did I buy the Yi M1? So, but before we get there, let's go ahead and take it out of the box, I think. It's a very nice box. I'm not sure exactly how it opens. Looks like something along this lines. Okay, a couple magnets in here that hold it, and it's like, wow. This is a nice box, and it's a nice looking Leica knockoff. Looks really good. Actually, I'm a little bit surprised taking this out of the box. A lot of the other reviews indicated that this was primarily plastic, and while there's a fair amount of plastic on here, this front piece looks to be metal. So I did get the black version instead of the silver. The grip is rubberized. It is rather light, but however I'd expect it, and that's actually one of the reasons I bought it. It was light, and I'll talk about that in a minute. So it's got a hot shoe. So it does fire, but it doesn't have the, I'm not sure they referred to it, the feedback for setting the flash. So you have to set that yourself, but it does have a hot shoe with a cover here, so that's nice. No built-in flash. So control dial. A little bit stiff on the control dial. Definitely not what you would expect to find on a Canon or something like that, but for a $300 camera, which is another reason I bought this, I guess it's acceptable. The control dial here is far smoother, and then you have different, your on and off here, and obviously your shutter button, so not bad. All in all, for a $300 camera, I'm not too unimpressed. So has several menu buttons here. Then this pops off, and naturally that bad boy there is the other thing that I'm very interested in. 20 megapixel Sony sensor. So again, for 300 bucks. Now, I purchased the single lens kit, and let me talk about that, and let's get the lens out here. Lens is also very light. And I'm going to scale out in a second here and weigh these, but you have plasticky feel, but not bad. Glass looks okay. Let's see the back here. I'll get my finger in there. Made in China. Are we surprised? No. So this is the 12 to 40 millimeter. It doesn't feel too bad. Just kind of working it through its paces here. One of the things I've noticed about this is, so this is set to this dot here, and if I spin it out past this dot, you notice it extends, and then extends from 12 to 40, but to retract it all the way back in, you have to push this in to unlock to retract it all the way back in. So we'll take a deeper look at that. Let's see what else we have in the box. So we have a lens cleaning cloth. We have several books, which we probably won't read. We get this out of here. We've got a typical USB type charger. Now that's another thing I like, is it can be charged by USB. And here's the battery. Rather cute little thing. Really can't. This side's sort of English. So this is a battery pack. It looks like it says 8.8 volts. It's kind of hard to read even with my glasses on. And let's see here if I got everything else. It's hard to get everything else out of here. And there we have the obligatory USB cable. And yep, micro USB cable. That's pretty nice shape. I'm going to put this back because I definitely want to save the box. Saving the box is always a good thing if you want to sell it again on eBay or something like that. Also, it provides a nice place to put the manuals back that we'll probably never ever read. But let's take a little bit deeper look at this now that we have this out. Let's set this stuff over here. Won't use the neck strap. We'll probably use the battery. So, as I promised, I wanted to see a couple different things here. So let's get the scale out. And without the battery, let's put this guy on here. So this comes in at about 267 grams. Not bad. And the lens comes in about 181. And the battery only about 31. So one of the things that I liked about this is it's lightweight. So this is a very lightweight camera. And so I can get a smaller 3-axis gimbal and put this on there. This does have bumper guards for the strap, which is actually pretty nice. If you see here, it's a nice thoughtful touch. But they kind of rattle and they look like they're a little bit hard to get out. Maybe replace with rings or something. Something I'll have to take a look at. And let's go ahead and remove this. Let's go ahead and put the lens on. Now, the other piece I wanted to discuss, if I could have probably bought the body without the lens, I would have purchased it in that configuration. Because one of the big things I want to do is I have a bunch of, especially M42 lenses, and I want to use that with this body for shooting video. And so I was really more after the body. I figured the lens is okay to have for 300 bucks for this whole package. I mean, sort of crazy cheap. And it gives me the opportunity to put different lenses on, get 4K video, and I'm going to manually focus. So one of the complaints about this was the slow focus. But this thing's overall has a pretty good feel. I'm a little bit more impressed than what the other YouTube reviews had mentioned with this. So I'm going to slide this in. I haven't charged this yet, but we can charge it. Now, one of the things I like is, notice this little battery clip here to hold it in, so when you pop your clip open, the battery just doesn't fall out. Now, I think this is a bit of a mixed blessing. I think you have to be a little bit careful with this because I think that would be very easy to break. But let's go ahead and clip this shut again. And I'm going to remove the protector here. I think I'm going to remove the protector. Don't have much of fingernails. Because this does have a touch screen. So we're going to turn this on. And oh, does turn on. So that's good. We're going to set this for English and hit OK. And then we're going to set the date here. Let's see, it's so this scrolls, it doesn't scroll too bad. This is sensitivity is actually pretty good. It's the 30th and it's 2017 and it's about about that. It's okay. So we've now set the time. Pair the camera with an app. We'll do that later. The lens is locked. Unlock. Oh, so this must put it when it's in this mode. That must lock it. Okay, so it's ISO 32. Press the shutter button to move. Probably take the cover off. That's got a nice picture, but one of the things I noticed that it's a little bit hard to read these across the white. So my f-stop, my speed, and my amount of light, my EV setting, so I can adjust my EV up or down. Press the shutter button, move direction of the arrow. It's kind of low. Let's see what happened. No SD card detected, so that must be like the play button. This appears to be the back button. And interesting. So I'm not going to do a complete review on this. There's tons of them out there. So again, one of the big things I want to talk about is the reasons for getting this. So again, for $300 US, I basically picked up a 20 megapixel body that does 4K. Now, yeah, there's probably some shortcomings, but the case and everything wise doesn't seem to be as bad as I had expected. One of the things I heard, the focus ring is fake, and that is true. So there's no manually focusing this. But again, I'm going to use this with a 4/3 to M42 adapter to connect some of my legacy lenses to it. The other thing, though, I think that people really miss that I want to share is this is sort of the Tesla of cameras. And when I say the Tesla of cameras, I really don't so much mean high-end, but this is a firmware-based camera. So Yi is constantly releasing firmware. So you have the base hardware platform that is really modified by applying new firmware to it. So it is going to get better and better. So for example, like all the bugs with the autofocus and things like that, that's just something that can be worked out in software around the motor configurations and things like that of the lens. So I'm actually pretty excited about that fact. Is I'll get constant updates with this. So I'm again pretty excited. And in general, for $300, I'm pretty well pleased with everything I see so far. So and again, we got the tripod mount. Now, it does look like it has pretty good connection down here with these screws. It's something that I usually look for in a camera, is how well is it going to mount to a tripod. And this actually looks pretty good because, again, I want to connect it to a gimbal 3-axis gimbal stabilizer. I'll probably use a little bit different lens configuration than this, probably more of a pancake lens or something like that in filming. But again, we've already seen it's pretty lightweight versus, a standard, even small DSLR, and I think that'll work out pretty good. So anyways, that's sort of my logic behind this, because I produce a lot of YouTube videos, and I think this will be a great YouTube camera. And so I'm excited about giving this a try for producing videos, shooting time lapses. That's another thing that it can do. So I'm excited to experiment with that, and I'll bring you guys along on the journey with that. So anyways, I just wanted to share a little bit of discussion and unboxing with the Yi M1. So with that, please like and subscribe, and let me know in the comments below. Do you have one of these? Do you have questions about this? Hit me up in the comments below. I'm always happy to answer them. Cheers, and we'll catch you in the next video.